Welcome back, you swamp rats. You know the drill. We're here for another day of Aidyn Chronicles, hosted by myself, your humble guide to the world of Aidyn Chezni. Let's figure out what craziness occurs in this unknown dungeon, because legitimately I'm not even sure where we are. And I know I'm going to be doing a lot of... What? Is that a worm that's just dancing? Anyway, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of talking over, you know, the play. That's part of a let's play. They should call it a let's talk. Anyway, but there's unique music. I mentioned this at the end of the last episode. There's unique music playing here, and it's wild. It's got like weird chanting, and let's just see if we can wait a moment. It's very, filled with energy, I suppose you could call it. I know Aidyn Chronicles doesn't have the most robust music in the world, but I don't know. Anyway, I guess this thing probably fights us. Yep. Oh, these are the sandworms. I think I remember them now. Yeah, okay. Apparently they're also not going to respect Alaron throwing garbage at them. Okay, so if we're finding sandworms, we must be close to Ugarit. But what are they doing in this dungeon? Also, I don't remember anything important about sandworms, so perhaps they are insignificant and they just die? Oh, they have a ranged attack somehow. Suppose we'll just use our imagination and say that they threw sand at Alaron. Come on, Alaron. Meanwhile, Godric, our level 2 character, decides to... Wait, can he not cast Crushing Death on the... What? Can you not cast Crushing... You can't cast Crushing Death on sandworms. What's going on here? Well, that's super weird. Let's just cast Frozen... No, can't cast Frozen Doom. Are they just immune to all spells? No, they're not immune to Dragon Flame. Okay, I was going to say that Godric, our level 2 character, was going to show up our level Kazillion character, Alaron, but apparently not. Apparently for some inexplicable reason they are just immune to Crushing Death. I would assume Crushing Death is a necromancy spell, so perhaps they're immune to all of necromancy? Let's test that out. Let's go over and try and cast Wall of Bones on this one. Yeah, you can't cast Wall of Bones. Weird. Okay, can we... Let's try to test this out with another necromancy spell. Let's try Exhaustion. No, you can cast Exhaustion on them. So it's not specifically the necromancy school that prevents us from casting this. You can cast Acid Bolt. What about a naming spell? Let's try Weakness. Yeah, you can cast Weakness on them. Wind, no problem. Weird, it's just Crushing Death and Wall of Bones. How about, do we have Starlight Web? We don't have Starlight Web. We can't test that one out. How about Stupidity? Yeah, Stupidity works. Sorry, I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this is peculiar. Well, anyway, I suppose we'll just light them on fire, why not? Oh, we need to have Rita cast, what is it called? Sense Aura? See if we can get some details on these things. They're not particularly threatening, but with them being immune to Wall of Bones, we can't get an easy win on them. Alright, Rita. Tell us what the Pokedex is. Oh, no! Resist! That's so sad. They're kind of ugly looking things, aren't they? Look more like leeches from Dark Souls. Oh well. They don't really seem to hit terribly hard. I mean, 15 is a nice bit of damage, but 15 every now and then is certainly not going to kill any of us. So I don't think we're terribly threatened by these creatures. Oh, and you can't... Interesting. Okay, so when I read earlier, it said that Sense Aura can only be cast on each target once. I thought that meant it could only be successfully cast on each target once. No, what it actually means is, quite literally, you can only cast it on the target once. So if you fail the initial cast, you can't keep recasting it, which is peculiar. So perhaps next time we run into... They don't give very much EXP. Perhaps next time we run into some sandworms, we should cast Brilliance first and then Sense Aura. Anyway, this particular pair of worms was guarding a singular Inferno Flask and 24 gold. Not even close to being Treasure of the Kings, but whatever. I still don't know what's down here. That seemed to be a dead end, right? I know it was very obviously a dead end, but again, this is the game with hidden walls and such, so let's just hit the A button on the wall a couple times. Yeah, seems dead end-ish. What is this whole place, though? I mean, this could be a very short trip if we take this path to the left and it's just another dead end. For all I know, it could be. Oh. No, we get some brick flooring and a bandit. Okay. Bandit who's ignoring us. That's okay. Weird. We're in some kind of ruins with a couple houses or structures of some kind, 4 of them. They seem to be blocked off by metal grating. Let's see if we can sneak past this bandit. Maybe we just run past him. He seems fine. Maybe we need to talk to him. Looks like a treasure chest. These doors are much smaller than I thought they were going to be. The distance played tricks on my eyes. Just a dexterity potion and some herbs. Nothing amazing there. What would you call these structures? Citadels? No, that's not the right word. They're too big to be obelisks, and besides, you typically can't enter obelisks. They're too well built to be called huts. Seems like some scorpion friends are here. The other grate, before we got into this battle here, seemed to have another chest in front of it. Could just be that all of these structures... There we go, we'll call them structures. All of these structures contain no entrance, but instead a single chest in front of them. Luckily, scorpions aren't terribly resistant to magic, so we shouldn't have too much trouble with this one. Oh, you know, hang on one moment. Okay. Had to make sure texts were disabled, right? We're not gonna have a repeat of that. Yes. Are these skeletons different? They're called giants, or scorpions different? They're called giant scorpions. They seem... I don't know if it's just the lighting, but these ones seem to have black black accents against their red, but it could just be because they're standing on a gray floor that I'm noticing it more than I usually do. Let's try Sense Aura on them now that I know that we get some neat information from them when we do this. Giant Scorpion, follower, 100 HP total level, total protection 21. I don't know why it would bring up protection specifically on this monster, whereas it didn't on the other. Level 15, I don't... Is that just a general indication of power? 100 HP. Follower, I don't know what this follower means. I think it said follower when we did that on the Tomb Rat. Okay, but so perhaps these scorpions are more resistant to physical attacks because it specifically brought up their protection. Wait, we can't cast... What is going on here? Why can't we cast Crushing Death? Does Elisheva's amulet, does it have a limited number of uses? Is that it? We just can't... Or do we need stamina, or... Maybe it's a spells per day system. It's just not letting us use it anymore. We'll have to try camping and seeing if that brings it back. Or maybe Crushing Death can only be cast on humanoids? No, because we were casting it on some bats earlier. Oh, come on, Alaron. We know you're not the damage dealer here. At least not when it comes to physical single target damage. See, those scorpions give you a ton of EXP. Okay, admittedly, if you divided it by 4, it wouldn't be that much more than the leeches. Not leeches, sandworms, whatever. Alright, I guess we could just keep boosting Godric's dex. Seems to be the right move. Give Brenna a little bit of stamina. 30s all around. And, I guess we'll give her sword. Not that she needs this, she almost never misses. Go ahead and give Rita a point and pull. Yes, and all the jokes were made. Alright, what's in chest number 2 here? Curing potion, stealth potion, and a wand of banishing. Might be more exciting if we didn't already have the banishment spell, but you never know. I assumed that... Oh, what? Okay. I assume that it banishes elementals, right? I think Alaron has the banishment spell? Somewhere? Here it is. Banishing. Yeah. Banishes a single elemental. Perhaps we should put points into that so that we can actually use it. It's just, there are so few elementals in the game, is it even worth it? Very dangerous trap. Brenna seems to be able to open all of these. Just more potions here. Of course, if the earlier chests in the game are anything to go off of, the contents of these chests are very well, could very well be randomized. So perhaps there is no scripted gear in these particular chests. Certain chests and certain piles of treasures are scripted, but not all of them. There's that bandit still down there. I wonder if we should have tried to talk to him. Although I'm just almost certain that attempting dialogue with such a ruffian would immediately result in combat. What is this whole place, though? We're still no closer to solving the mystery as to what this place is. Strength potion with quite a decent amount of gold. I feel like I hear footsteps. Could just be the bandit from earlier, but could be something else. Yeah. Oh, there's a bandit over there. Wonder if this one will fight us. Yep. Seems intent on bloodshed. That's fine, we'll give it to him. Although in the opposite direction that he was hoping for. Teehee, I'm so clever. Wordplay. It's not even wordplay at that point. Stamina is pretty low on Alaron. In fact, a lot of the party members seem to not be regenerating their HP with the healing rings, and that's fine. Gives us an opportunity to actually use our healing abilities and potions. Brenna could have just cast lightning there, I suppose. Maybe we should have tried that. The guaranteed backstab is just too tempting, though. Let's try and see what these bandits say. If we sense their aura. Wait, can we not do it? Oh, there we go. Human bandit, also a follower. Lower HP than the giant scorpion. 2 levels higher. Total armor of 18. Interesting. In spite of being 2 levels higher, they appear to be weaker. At least with a few points in regards to HP and protection. Although I'm sure HP and protection don't mean everything when compared to other core stats and abilities and equipment. That being said, I think I'm always happy to fight bandits because they tend to be very weak. Except for the early parts of the game when you're fighting the bosses. Since we have some downtime before the reinforcements show up, we might as well fix those pesky stamina problems. Let's check out and see if we can scan one of the archers. I think these are different. Bandit Woodsman, much lower level, much lower HP and protection. Sorry, much lower protection, about a little less than 10% HP reduction. A little more than 10%? I can't do math. Yeah, there's a rule. Never do math on stream. I'm going to also say never do math in a recording. Unless you're Lepsis, and then you can just do math anytime you want. Lightning continues to display its mediocrity by only dealing 13 and 18 and 15. So be it. We could probably make ourselves feel better though if we used Rita's Dragon Flames. Yeah. Again, the fact that this staff can cast Dragon Flames is really starting to come off as more of a novelty than an actual usable technique. Oh, Godric. Oh, no. Well, 10 HP isn't going to kill him, is it? So in spite of having the boosted dex we've been giving him, he still is not getting his turn very quickly. Hopefully this will work. We didn't see any special resistances or weaknesses on these guys, so I would assume any spell goes. Getting a lot of fleeing bandits. I also suppose part of the problem is we have not been boosting our int with Rita. That is a lot of damage, I feel like, coming from our mage. Our status effect mage, no less. Oh, disappointing. Got another fleeing woodsman, which just leaves the singular bandit boss remaining. This guy seems intent on dodging all of our attacks and then getting the heck out of there, which works in all favors for both parties. It's a lot of EXP. It's always nice to see, especially when we have Godric in tow. To get him up to usable status. Wait, it isn't daytime, is it? You don't suppose Elisheva's heart only allows you to cast Crushing Death at night? No, because it's nighttime. Defense potion. Oh boy. So is that really it? Because it seems like we're at the end here. Is this just a dungeon? A very small dungeon with music and a couple of treasure chests. It kind of strikes me as another one of those locations where they were going to build it up into something important and never did. I mean, I'm not crazy, right? Am I missing something? It's like, it feels like we're in a box. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 structures. We investigated each one. There was simply a chest in front of them. I don't think we're getting anything else there. That's actually kind of disappointing. Aidyn Chronicles certainly doesn't really it does not really subscribe to the concept of RPG side quests. There are bits and pieces of information you can gain through just simply traveling through the world. And you can put pieces together in regards to the story. But there aren't your traditional NPC who asks you to go kill 5 goblins and then you go kill 5 goblins and come back and get something. Which is fine with me. I've always found that system to be very artificial. And it usually lends itself to needless grinding. Not that this game hasn't had its insanely unfair share of grinding. But typically Aidyn Chronicles does not have go to point A, get item, come back, get quests, reward quests. My point just being that this seems like the kind of place that would be that kind of quest, right? That kind of mini dungeon where, okay, we went up to the bandit and hit A, he's just a fight. That's disappointing. Thought maybe he would talk to us. Anyway, this dungeon kind of seems like the little mini dungeon-esque place where you would travel to some town and some lady would say that bandits stole her necklace and ran off to the ruins east of the gates of the desert, and then you have to go get the necklace back and just give it back to her. Instead, there's just nothing here. Nothing but loot. I suppose loot is something. We did get a wand of banishing out of the deal. It's up in the air whether that will ever be meaningful, but it's at least a unique piece of equipment. Now, whether or not that was scripted to be in those chests or not, I don't have a way of knowing, save for loading the file and trying to open them up again, which I'm not going to do. But I suppose maybe it was really was just a dungeon meant to have some loot. The unique music, I know I'm really clinging to the unique music aspect of it though. The unique music really makes me think it was meant to be something more. I mean, why put a track in this little micro dungeon that is not used, to my knowledge, anywhere else, in a game that does have random bits and places that you can explore off the beaten path, but typically not ones like this. Most of the time it feels like the random places off the path are ruins or caves with monsters or something. Never a properly structured location like this, which by all accounts the structures in this, I don't even want to call it a cave. I guess we'll call them ruins, even though they're not like the ruins that we found outside of Terminor, where they're actually ruinous. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, just reading all the gear we got there. It didn't look like we got anything interesting. That's fine. Yeah, okay, I suppose we'll just say goodbye to these strange... What do you call it when an excavator finds something? It is just called... Okay, I guess we're being encountered here. So we found one of these guys in Shamsuk's tower, and he wasn't really that threatening. He hit like a truck, but yeah, HP wise, they don't have a ton of HP. I mean, it's not like small, but I think we will have Brenna here not engage immediately until we've kind of whittled some of them down. I could see her getting surrounded and pummeled by a couple 40 HP strikes, and that wouldn't feel very good. I was tempting to just have Rita cast Brilliance, but I think instead we're going to sense Aura here to just kind of see what details we can get on these guys. Earth Elemental Follower, a lot of HP, level 20, immune to Earth, immune to Physical. Didn't expect that. Total armor 30. So about what would you expect? Very, very tanky, immune to earth, immune to physical, but I don't think our weapons at this point count as physical, except maybe Godric's Poison Dart. Very high physical armor. I think we're still gonna hang back though and not engage yet again with Brenna. I think I would feel most comfortable engaging with her if they're all in the realm of being able to be killed with one backstab. But anyway, they should not innately, according to the Sense Aura, who knows what stats that spell does not show us, but according to the stats from Sense Aura, they shouldn't specifically be immune to fire. Now, since Godric can't really do very much that's useful, we'll have him equip the Wand of Banishment, and maybe we'll get a chance to try it out and see what it looks like. I don't even know if we've really used a wand this entire game. Okay, swapping our Frozen Doom for Banishment. Oh, he's gonna get to keep his turn. That's nice. Seems like swapping wands doesn't actually count as your turn. Let's try it out. Holy whoa. If by banishing you mean brutally murdering, then yes, I suppose the wand banishes elementals. Now, I feel that the wand name is a bit of a misnomer, but all the same, we'll take it. Question is, how many charges does the wand have? But probably doesn't matter, because I don't know how many other times we're going to use it. Let's see if Alaron's level 1 dispel... or sorry, banishment actually does anything here. No, just we're gonna see her resist. Makes sense. Especially if it's an instant death spell to all elementals. But again here, so it's interesting that we have a banishment spell, but the elementals aren't threatening enough to really warrant its use. It seems like a spell that you use because you just wanted to, and you didn't really have anything else better to put points into. It makes a winnable fight all the more winnable. Which... now we're starting to bleed into other game territory, but if you've ever played Netrunner, you know the card that lets you win more when you're winning is generally looked upon as being a bad card. Or a not useful card. Because if you're already winning, then you're already winning. You don't need to win more. You want cards that let you win when you're losing. Okay, well, I will say I was hoping for a bit more from that dungeon, but we made it out alive. Let's see if camping lets Godric use the Heart of Elisheva again. Perhaps again it's on that casts per day system. I mean, we've been given no indication that that's how it works, but I have nothing else to go off of. It doesn't say that it has its own spell battery or anything like that. Godric had stamina, he should have been able to use it. Otherwise, perhaps we just have to assume that he just can't cast it anymore. What's going on? I didn't even see these hellhounds. Sadness. Rita really can't do anything, can she? I guess she can brilliantify people. But wait, we can't use Fireball or Dragon Flames. I suppose we can use a combination of Earth Smite and Lightning. We don't really need to Sense Aura on the Hellhounds, but we might end up doing that, just because I don't know if there's anything useful Rita can do with that Staff of Fire that she has. This has to be uncomfortable for the Hellhounds being in the rain like this. Wall of Bones looks like it works just fine. See how susceptible they are to lightning. Of course, it's going to target the one that's already 65. Maybe we should just outright kill them. Wow. You suppose lightning is getting extra damage because it's raining? This is the highest I think we've ever seen lightning do. Now, admittedly, we have a 20 int boost from Rita, but even so, I think the highest we've seen has been about 50 with an int boost. But geez, 70? This is pretty consistently hitting in the 50-70 mark. 50-70 range. Pretty impressive. I would have to assume that that was boosted by the weather. I have no way of proving that, though. Okay, well, in the spirit of adventure, let's continue on, my friends. South to Ugarit. I hope you packed your sunscreen, because it's gonna get hot. Oh, more hellhounds. Seems to be a common staple, and the closer to Ugarit we get. Are they still following us? No, good. We do, of course, want to trend southward, but I am a little curious as to what's over here. Perhaps we'll find another unfinished dungeon. Rather large, rocky outcropping. Did we come through here? I'm having trouble keeping my bearings. Everything looks the same here. Plus the rocky cliffs are blocking our vision, so I can't orient off of something. So we have an iron golem here, or I can't remember what they're called. Stone golem? Clay golem? Anyway, we'll avoid him. Okay, well, let's just go south. It seems like the only things we're gonna find that direction are monsters. Man, I really can't tell where we've been. I'm looking over there thinking we've probably been over there. Okay, looks like there really is nothing up here. We can use that big, this one that we're looking at here, that big kind of almost, it's not green, but almost a grayish green outcropping as our North Star, so to say, as we travel around this area. Oh, trolls guarding some gemstones. Do we even need the gemstone? Probably not. No, we have 80. We're gonna be fine. Okay, there's that mountain. I think this is the path we walked on, so let's go further south. It stopped raining. If we run into more hellhounds, we can test our theory about the weather affecting lightning. See if we can avoid these cyclopses. It's strange that the cyclops are even here, and there really is no upgraded form of the cyclops. There's just cyclops, and they're not even threatening when you run into them for the first time in the game. Let's try and walk up here. Get a little bit of height. No? Okay. Suppose we can get our height from here. Alright, let's take a gander. Wait, what? What is that? Oh. A dust devil, apparently. There's that mountain we can still use to just barely orient ourselves. Oh, and I think we found the gate. So there doesn't seem to really be much north of Ugarit aside from monsters. Monsters and more monsters. Hopefully we can get through here. The Jundar Gate. Human! You dare approach us? I have a message for the Emperor. None may enter Ugarit save those who pass the test. Solve my ancient riddle, and you go unharmed. This might be the test that Pandora spoke of. Pandera? Whatever. Speak up, human. We cannot hear you. I may need to consult a friend before I can continue. Do you wish to consult? What is this? What is this? Who wants to be a millionaire? Yes, I'd like to dial a friend, please, before I pass the Sphinx's riddle. Yeah, actually, let's, okay, do you wish to consult this friend or not? Yes, I do. We will wait. Okay, so let's try equipping Pandera's amulet. Maybe that's what we need to do. Or maybe we just use the amulet? I'm not really sure. Oh, that's right. We've been wearing Shamsuk's amulet. I totally forgot that. We killed Shamsuk while sporting his own amulet. Of course, we found that thing outside in the cave by Port Said. He probably threw it down a well. Oh my goodness, where is Pandera's amulet? I'm sure I've passed it. Yeah, I must have. Gotta go around. Oh, there it is. Pandera's amulet. Requires the lunar aspect and does nothing. That's okay. Let's try this again. Human, you dare approach us again. I've returned to solve your riddle. Are you certain that you know the answer? Are you ready? Let me think. Be certain. Wait. It's giving us the option to say no, I wish to talk with a friend, but I thought we have the amulet equipped. What's going on here? I guess we'll just click yes, let's continue, or maybe we should say no, let us talk to a friend, and we'll save the game in case anything totally crazy happens. Like, I don't know, the gate shoots laser beams out of its eyes and kills everyone. Alright, let's try this. Think deeply before you speak your answer, human. Answer false and lose your life. Yeah, that sounds pretty threatening. Let me pass, then say your riddle. I'll try another time. We'll just say then say your riddle. Think well. This is the riddle you must solve. This is the gift you must possess to pass. This gift is light as air, as heavy as the world. This gift is more than an object. This gift is not a thought. This gift is both a weapon and a shield. Human, say what this is. Well, if I was actually given this riddle, I would declare that the puzzle was unfair because there are so many things that those concepts apply to. However, given the theming of the game, one would assume that the answer to the riddle is a name, right? Let's see here. Magic, wisdom. I need some time to think. Great Jundar spirit. Let's go with that one. You know all that you know. You have had time enough. This is the riddle you must solve. You have a gift, unlike another's. Without this gift, you walk in darkness. Without this gift, you will not find your way. This gift can be your greatest joy, your truest regret. It is yours and yours alone. It will always be with you. What is this gift? Truth? Courage? No. Truth, neither of those things are always with you. There is one gift that's yours and yours alone. You answer well. Continue. Strength? Love? No, it's definitely something else. Continue. Honor? Friendship? I know my greatest gift. Then speak its name and pass the gate. It is myself. Ah, okay. Well, I was thinking name, but myself, I mean, that makes a certain level of sense. Also, I kind of feel bad because were we supposed to talk to Pandera and get the answer? Was that the whole reason we had the amulet? That was a little unclear, but apparently Alaron figured the riddle out himself. You answer well. Continue. I am myself and always myself. I am my greatest joy, at times my truest regret. I am more than an object and more than a thought, and I am what is me and no one else. You have the gift, and you are free to pass. Good luck in Ugarit. Such a friendly Jundar gate. We know that was a Jundar gate because the head floating in the middle of it was blue. And no, that's not an enthusiast of the Blue Man group or somebody who sprayed themselves with Windex. No, it is indeed the skin color of the Jundar. So, it's a little curious that the only thing the Jundar use to keep humans out is just a rather, what I would consider a friendly gate guardian. However, I suppose if we had answered incorrectly, he would have murdered us with his deadly laser eye beams, no less. But perhaps that's what really has kept most people out. Nobody really wanted to take the plunge, so to say, and find out what the riddle was at the risk of their own life. Nope, we're getting different music. Pretty funky music. They really went all out on the music near the end of the game, didn't they? Yeah, so at Chaos Island, why didn't they just play that music that played, in the dungeon that we were just in? Also, is this Port Said's music? I think it is. It's actually just Port Said's music. I mean, that's fine. I don't care that they reuse music. It's better than listening to nothing. Oh, salamander. Anyway, I feel like I should have done an introduction. Welcome, my friends, to the desert of Ugarit. We'll be spending a little bit of time here. It won't be the longest part of the game, but it certainly won't be a quick zip through. And our ultimate goal here is to locate the city of the Jundar, because after scouring the parts of the continent that we know of, no one has been able to fix Alaron's naming problem. So hopefully the Jundar, as a last resort, will know something to both give Alaron a name and avert the danger of the wilding. Oh, also there are fire salamanders in the desert. I don't know if you knew this, but there are indeed. Wait, why can't we cast Earth Smite on this thing? Oh my goodness, what's going on here? Are Earth Salamanders just immune to elemental damage, period? Let's test this theory out and have Rita cast Sense Aura on this guy. Salamander, leader. This is the first leader we've seen instead of a follower. Perhaps that means that leaders won't run away, but the death of a leader will influence followers to then flee. 77 HP, level 17, immune to fire, total armor of 21. So it seems that total armor is just a standard stat that we're going to get by casting Sense Aura. Perhaps that's the knowledge we get because we boosted Sense Aura from 8 to 10. Immune to fire, but it doesn't say anything about being immune to Earth Smite. It's not even giving us the ability to target this guy with Earth Smite, yet we can target him with Dragon Flames. That's interesting. I suppose he's just immune to Earth Smite. I mean, it works for me, I suppose. Fire salamander. you'd assume that's associated with magma, which in a sense is related to rocks or earth, right? I'm sure, I don't even know the official word for somebody who studies magma. Would that be a geologist? I'm sure geologists out there are screaming at me. It's not even close to being the same. We found a cave. Apparently there's a zombie inside. Didn't we level up Control Zombie? This might be the time to make it shine. In the trend of casting Sense Aura on everything, let's see what the zombies are all about. Zombies are a leader. Must be why they never flee from combat. Resistant to physical, resistant to magic. Yeah, we definitely felt that one. So they're just resistant to everything. 105 HP. Yeah, if they're resistant, I mean, we're not getting a specific number, but even if they were just 25% or 50% resistant, that's certainly explains why they take so gosh darn long to kill. I mean, we only have magic and physical. What other options are there? How do we circumvent those resistances? I don't think we can. Okay, what's the spell called? Control Zombies? Here we go. Ah, the range is so short. Hopefully we'll get some zombie friends on our team. Alright, let's test this out. Which one do we want? Let's go with that one. Wow, did we do it? We successfully cast Control Zombie. We're already having more luck than Ferris. Now this is strange. How does this work? Does this guy really fight for us? I suppose we have a charming spell, don't we? Or wasn't it called Persuasion? I suppose Persuasion probably does the same thing. Oh wow! The other zombies are fighting him. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, that's pretty standard what you would expect from a spell that gets something on your team, but let me phrase it this way. I was not expecting that from Aidyn Chronicles. That's pretty cool though. Let's try... Oh, you know what? The game totally crashed like last time we messed around with casting Wall of Bones on everything. Let's do a safety save here. And then now let's continue with our fun. Alright, another controlled zombie. We're just gonna have an army of zombies. I'm alright. Or rather, I'm okay with this. We'll just pick on this one. We'll convert the other one to our team. See what happens. This would be devastating if you could cast this on... players. I think that would be probably a horrible idea from a game mechanic. In a game where if your players die, they die permanently, yeah, allowing the enemy to take control of your players would be awful. The first time Neeson gets mind controlled and fireballs the party, I think I'd just rip the cartridge out of the machine and throw it across the room. So can we only control one zombie at a time? I'm a little confused. This one doesn't seem to be under our control anymore. I thought he initially was. Come on, Godric, get your old bones over here. Time to test if we can cast Crushing Death again. We can. So Crushing Death does come back, apparently, if it disappears. I'm having such a hard time remembering who's on our team and who isn't. The zombies seem very intent on punishing the traitor that decided to fight against them. We're not having any luck casting Control Zombie anymore. Perhaps we should boost Alaron's int. Not that we were really going to have any kind of problem fighting these things to begin with, but it would appear that by manipulating which side the zombies are on, we could go through this fight without really taking any damage at all. Too busy hitting each other. Alright. Success. Now we have 2 zombies. Let's just see if we can convert them all. Not being able to target each other, they're moving towards the only hostile zombie on the board. Here we go, zombie number 3. And I wonder if we control the last zombie, if that's going to let us just end the battle. Now resist, of course. Let's try and get behind him. I don't know if it actually changes anything, but there it is. All 4 zombies on our team, yep. That just ends the fight. So that's like Wall of Bones, only better. Way better. Scarily better. Round that up to a nice 40. Let's get some banishment going on here. Let's boost this up a little bit. Wow, it's very cheap. Or we had a lot of EXP. Maybe both. Anyway, level 7 banishing is certainly going to let us dispel any of those pesky elementals. Not that we run into them that often. Godric will keep working on his aerobics, slowly getting up there to being a spry old man. Round Rita's stamina off at 40. And now Brenna truly is a force to be reckoned with. Maxed combat stats. The only way she could get better is if she had the ability to take shields. And we'll give Rita some pole ability. Alright. Well, that was fun. As far as gaining stats and abilities go. What is going on? What? Take 2 steps and get into this fight? Although we are seeing Godric take his turn first, which is impressive. Perhaps we should actually have him drink a defense potion? Maybe a dex potion. I'm kind of worried about him. He might get into a little bit of trouble. But then again, if these wraiths are dead set intent on just casting Wraith Touch on everyone, they might ignore him. It does appear to be nighttime. Alaron's stamina is very low, so we're going to use a stamina potion. We'll open this up with Brilliance, and then we'll cast Sense Aura, since there will be no lack of Wraith targets to view their stats. Brilliance will hopefully open the door to allow us to just fireball them out of existence. Cover your ears. Should have given you more warning. Alright. The range on lightning is so disappointing. Oh, we managed. Just a couple voxels forward. Are they voxels in 3D instead of pixels? Probably not. I'm probably just making up words. I still don't know if that was worth it, though. I think the time it took to watch them all get hit by lightning would have been better spent doing other things. Fireball reigns supreme. Furthering my regret that Brenna doesn't know it. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe one of the Starlight wizards knows elemental magic. I sincerely doubt it. I feel like if I was writing the universe, I would say that I would write it so that... what am I saying? If I was in charge of the universe, If I was in charge of writing lore for Aidyn Chronicles, I would write it so that because the Jundar's magic is so specialized, they find it very difficult to learn the magic of the other races. It's just kind of a two-way gate. It's very, very difficult to learn Starlight magic, but if you come from the clan that knows Starlight magic, it's very, very difficult to learn non-Starlight magic. And yep, there it is. Wraith Touch on Godric. That's to be expected with his low willpower. Willpower definitely being on the bottom end of priority as far as boosting his stats. We certainly want his dex to be the first one that goes up so that we can actually have him take his turn. Wraith Follower. Wait, does that mean Wraiths can flee? I wasn't expecting that. Although I don't think I've ever seen a Wraith flee. Level 20, that's very high. Immune to physical damage, there it is. Resistant to magic damage. Okay, so that would explain why lightning was dealing so little damage. Interesting, so when they're immune to physical, that must mean that... How does that work? Warfang, does Warfang deal magic damage? Again, we've beaten it into the ground 1,000 times, but the Wraiths function essentially as a monster in D&D that you need a +1 weapon to strike. +1 being magical in nature. But +1 weapons in D&D don't deal magical damage, they just are magical. Yeah, I don't know. So maybe Warfang uses the physical stat characteristics, but processes the damages, the enemy's defense as if it was a magic attack? I don't know. But that would also mean that it's not reduced by armor, which doesn't seem right. I don't know. These Wraiths are being obnoxious. We got the party a little too close to them to fireball, and so now it's getting a little scrappy here. Of course, they're not really doing much to us, which is to be expected. They're just being a nuisance, especially if they're resistant to magic. Oh, a successful Wraith Touch on Brenna. Was not expecting that. It's fine. We should probably start focus firing them. Perhaps? I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should try and wipe them all out at once so that they all spawn in at once. And then we can cast more fireballs on them. Probably don't need to be that complicated, though. Godric is feeling a little bit like a weighted noose around the neck in this fight. There's not much where that he can really do. His poisoned weapon, I doubt, counts as magical, so it's not like he can actually harm these things. And Crushing Death, amusing as it was to use on random wildlife, does not seem to have a very high chance of working against an undead spirit. I suppose we'll just have him chuck a poison dart for kicks. Oh. Yeah. A hit. A palpable hit. Do we have any spare magic, I don't know, like swords Godric could use? Lying around somewhere? Let's check. Alright, here we go. Chaos Sword? Yay. He does not have the strength to equip that. Could equip Elisheva's Scythe, except he doesn't know Enchanted. Or, sorry, he doesn't know Hafted. The Enchanted Blade will work, though. Godric? Godric, you put that thing down. Eh? What? I'm sorry, I found this lying around. Godric, you're not even holding it right. Yeah, it is kind of bright. I'm lunar aspected, you know? Godric, just stab the scary ghost. So Alaron can't be very useful here, and he's stuck. He's stuck in melee range. I think I'm just gonna have him heal. If I can find it on the menu. Here we go. Lay on hands. There it is. We'll just have him heal Godric, so that way Godric can take the turn to stabby stabby the ghosty ghosty. These are technical terms. Assuming, of course, that, yeah, well, that Brenda doesn't just outright kill it. As long as we have him ghost on the edge of this group of wraiths, he should be able to avoid fireball damage. Well, he futilely stabs these things. Godric, come on. Stop getting hit. So we can say one thing for sure. They might not be terribly threatening, but they sure are durable, these wraiths. Even in a brilliance boosted fireball is only dealing 30 damage. It's definitely that magic resist playing into things. Oh, when did Rita get Wraith Touch applied to her? In spite of having a magical sword, doesn't seem that Godric's able to hit anything with it. So why is Godric taking so much more damage, though, than Brenna? I suppose Brenna's wearing a helm of protection. But is that all it is? I feel like both of them aren't using shields. Does the warrior stat increase resistance to physical attacks? Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, there was a lot of movement on that one. We're still not seeing these wraiths flee, so even though they're followers, I don't think they can flee. So perhaps follower and leader are not necessarily indicative of will run, will not run. Perhaps it just indicates the effect they have on morale when they die. Oh, come on, Godric. Hit something. Oh my goodness, if Godric can equip swords, that means you could give him Warfang. Like, oh wait, no, that Wraith totally fleed. Okay, never mind. Maybe follower and leader is indicative of that. I love how quickly I go back on so many things I say in this game when I'm proven wrong. Anyway, but that means you could give Godric Warfang and turn him into a beast? Depends though, can he learn warrior and thief? I don't know. Either way, it would be pretty funny. Well, if we find a trainer when we finally make it to Ugarit, we'll definitely teach him sword, or not sword, shield and warrior and thief if we're able. I don't rightly remember what they teach you in Ugarit, other than starlight spells. So it seems this little outcropping was just that, an outcropping. It's nighttime, and everyone except Godric receives a penalty at night, so we're gonna camp. We'll blaze, or sorry, what do you call it? No, it is blaze. That trail that we blaze, yes. Had to remember Road to El Dorado to remember how it's said. We will blaze a trail through the blazing sun. The trail that we blaze. That trail that we blaze. Watch, I'm probably saying it wrong, and I've said it wrong like 3 times. What now? What could have possibly found us? There was nothing in our field of view. Oh, forget this. We'll end this with magic. Brilliance and Fireball will be the final say in this fight. I suppose it is nice to be fighting in a different location at least. I know we hit a couple new battle grounds, or whatever you want to call them, arenas, stages, when we were traveling down towards Ugarit and in the caves and whatnot, but you do tend to spend an inordinate amount of time on that grassy hill battle stage. It gets a little tiring to climb up that hill on every fight. So we sense these things' auras, and in spite of being desert-dwelling scorpions, they did not have any specific resistance to elemental fire magic, so we should be good here. There we go. 70 is what we need to see. Very beautiful. Beautiful. Was that an upside down 1? I suppose those of you watching on YouTube can rewind and check that out. I think that was an upside down 1. I'm not sure though. Could be wrong. Oh, though, staying true to Aidyn's style, the countryside is littered with all sorts of creatures that just want you dead. And as such, the denizens of the Ugarit Desert see no need to break tradition and continue to assault us with their very existences. A lot of EXP though. Can't really argue with that. I mean, the giant scorpions can be dangerous if they get close to you, but they're so slow and very susceptible to fireball, it would appear. Well, not particularly as susceptible, they're just not resistant to it. What? It's this crazy little path here. Okay, I'm going to get very lost if we don't find a way to orient ourselves. That way is the gate. That is that cave we went into. And this is a wacky little walkway that we're going to get lost on. How do we orient ourselves? Because the problem is the load distance is going to prevent us from seeing distant landmarks. I suppose we have to use this big cliff. I can't actually angle the camera to see the top of it, but we'll use this big round cliff as our point of orientation. Hopefully it's large enough and prominent enough that even load distances will not prevent our use of it. Alright, so this was a crazy little walkway that led nowhere. That's fine. Get a nice view of the desert. A lot of pathways. How many pathways do we have here? Overarching ones. 1, 2, 3, 4? So 4 overarching pathways. 2 on the right and 2 on the left. It'll help if we remember that so we can kind of remember where we are when we get to them. Another large scorpion down there. Hopefully we can avoid him. This is Port Said's music, right? I'm not crazy, right? Oh, Chezni, you're crazy. That was some riddle. I'm dying. Let's hope it was worth it. Getting tired of the desert? I just don't want to get to Ugarit to hear I just don't want to get to Ugarit to hear Zeratus can't help me after all. He'll help you. Crossing this desert would earn anyone's respect. What do you think, Rita? The wizard sent us this way. Zeratus has to help. I'm not sure. I mean, look at this place. I agree. I like Talawalk a little better. Zeratus must feel it. Feel what? What are you saying, Alaron? Look at the land. It's empty. It's dry. I think something, I don't know what, is slipping away from the Jundar. and for some reason, Zeratus is powerless to stop it. You mean there's something he can't control? Well, he can't want it this way. No, he can't. But that's a good thing, Alaron. I don't see how this desert is good. It's good because it means Zeratus has problems of his own. It means Zeratus needs help with something, as much as we do. You think he'll admit to that? I think so. Me too. The Jundar Desert, that's the key to Zeratus. Then he'll ask us to do something. Absolutely. He'll want to reclaim this land. And he'll try to use you to do it. Use me? He has to. You really think so? I'm counting on it. Something wrong with my voice today. I can't quite reach the pitches I need to. I'm getting old, losing my voice. It'll happen one day, I'm sure. Okay. We got this large, round column that will continue to keep in the corner of our eye as we walk up this very unlikely pathway. Actually, it might be on the top of that. Yeah, we're gonna get to the top of that round column of earth. Oh, dust devils up here. Is there anything else? Ooh, big pile of treasure. As adventurers, we love big piles of treasure. Was it worth it to cast Brilliance? Maybe not. Maybe I should have just left it off. I get to sit here and watch it. Oh. So what do you think some of this would look like if they redid it all and had higher res textures? There's some interesting design choices, like the Chaos Shield there has a big, like, weird mouth on it, on the bottom of it. You can see it here. I guess it's supposed to be a skull, actually. I wonder, though, they really did... Oh my goodness, Dust Devil. Okay. Yeah, we definitely didn't need Brilliance. Anyway, I was gonna say, I wonder if at some point, because you have to remember, guys, we're playing this on an emulator. The textures and the polygons and so on and so forth are actually crisper here than they would have appeared on your regular TV, 4x3 TV of the era that this game came out in. Let's check our treasure here. Probably nothing. An acid flask and 48 gold. Yep. But yeah, so the graphics themselves would have been even worse back in the day, and yet they went for this extremely detailed look. It was probably just too ambitious for its time. And there has to be a point, right, in development stages where you go, guys, okay, we need to take a step back and ask ourselves, maybe we shouldn't make things so detailed. Oh well. But then we wouldn't have the game we do have. I suppose in some ways your game would end up looking a lot more like Quest 64 if you made things less detailed. And that wasn't the look they wanted to go for here. So I am lost as far as knowing where to go. But as long as we keep that pillar... Oh, one moment. Geez, maybe I should stick with the water. Anyway, as long as we keep that pillar in sight, we should relatively, and I stress relatively, know where we are relative to the pillar. But yeah, I just don't know where we're going. I mean, we do know where Ugarit is on the map. We could theoretically just bring up the map here and kind of know where we need to go. Oh. I expected it to be full on south. It looks like it's far to the east. So we're not even close to Ugarit. Scorpion and a small oasis. You know what? Let's just strike out. Let's stop trying to orient ourselves and let's get lost. We have the map itself and a compass. Should we really need them. So it's not likely we'll actually get lost. Wow. So wait a minute, we did like 60. Oh, because that was a large scorpion and not... Ah, okay, so there were 2 large scorpions and 2 giant ones. The giant ones were able to sustain a direct hit and then keep going. Ugh, more sandworms. I'd have to say, you know, if you were going through this game to just annihilate everything, I think you would probably just take Godric, Rita, Alaron, and Brenna. Max out Brilliance with Rita. Teach Alaron, Brenna, and Godric Fireball. And then just laugh your way to the end of the game as you nuke everything. Do we even need anything else after that? Like, I suppose certain enemies are resistant to Fireball, so I guess you would need some kind of backup, but I don't know, I feel like overall that would kind of be like easy mode. You just have to have enough money to buy spices, which actually there's a very easy way to get money in the game. I think we went over this very briefly when we visited Mirari for the first time, or sorry, Araman. But if you're a real scumbag, you can buy crafting regents and craft a bunch of curing potions and then just sell them back to the store, and that will net you a profit and generate you infinite money. Cookie, don't lick the microphone. Yes, you're an adorable cat. Okay, now she's trying to get into my lap. Nope. Cookie, I'm so sorry. Alright. Sorry about that. Oh, Alaron got hit. Well, we just haven't healed him from all of the incessant spellcasting he's been doing. That was a pretty good lightning strike. Oh. Brenna is poisoned? I didn't realize that the sandworms did that. Yeah, lightning seems to be being very, very profitable here. It's peculiar. I thought we'd get away with Dragon Flames. I shouldn't have been so optimistic. Ugh. Can you backstab a sandworm? Does it work like that? Ah, she's just beating the crap out of the sandworm if it refuses to die. These guys are not worth the trouble. They take forever to kill and only get 9,000 EXP. Come on. We're not running a charity here. I'm a little bit surprised that Godric doesn't know Healer. Kind of feels like the talent that's right up his alley. Although perhaps it's just that, a little cave here. Perhaps he never had a personal inclination to learn the ability on his own. Water Elemental, perfect time to test out our fancy dancy banishment spell. He's accompanied by 3 skeletons. Ominous. Okay, here it goes. It's coming. It's gonna be amazing. Now that's brilliance. Let's do it. Ha! Jiminy Christmas! 242 damage is hilarious. That is buku amounts of damage. Like, I also love that the spell really is under the guise of a banishment spell when really it's just a wreck all spell. I mean, I know that mechanically speaking, causing the monster that you banish to die is just probably using the engine the smartest way to get the monster out of the fight. But it's still funny to me. I feel like it would be different if it dealt the damage but didn't give you the damage number and didn't, like, the number didn't appear above the monster's head. If they could hide that somehow, then it would be fine. Or if it scanned for the exact number of the HP of the monster and dealt that exact HP. But instead it's just this ruthless, like, 247 damage. Alright, what is this? Looks like some kind of bloody symbol or an organ or something. Like a small intestine. We can't actually do anything with it. A lot of ladders in this place. Actually, what the heck did we find ourselves in here? A zombie? Oh, okay. Another op to cast control zombie, I guess. Oh, and an elemental. We're getting to use all the fancy spells today. We'll just pick off the skeletons. I'm not sure if we're in range to cast Banish here. It's kind of short, yeah. Instead we'll maybe do controls on... No, alright. Guess we'll just pass our turn. Godric, don't you dare get close to that thing. Rude. Okay, I feel like Earth elementals are a little stronger. I have no empirical data to support that. I just feel that way. But we could control elemental? What are we doing? We should be controlling these things. Yeah, let's definitely put some points into control elemental, because that sounds hilarious. Wait. So that elemental was banished, and it only dealt 19 damage. So I suppose it really isn't even a banishment spell. It is just a damaging spell. That's incredibly disappointing. So it's just a damaging spell that only works on certain monsters. That would explain why it doesn't scan for the exact HP of the monster then. Alright, let's try round 2. Banish. Hey, there we go. That's... Admittedly, I know I've spent the last like 15 minutes making fun of the fact that the banishment spell does not banish things, it just murders them. But at the same time, it's fun to deal that much damage to something. So I shouldn't complain. Alright, Godric. Oh, I was thinking maybe Godric would get the last hit on the zombie, but it was not meant to be. Hooray! Violence. So we appear to be in just some kind of strange underground caves. Cavern? Cavern is probably a better way to describe this. Oop, you slipped through on there. Sorts of glyphs, writings on the wall, monsters that were unasked. Alright, now here's a question. The golems. They're not elementals, right? So we can't control them, we can't banish them. I guess that wasn't a question, that was a statement. With only 3 of them and no reinforcements, we'll probably just brute force our way through this. We could be fancy and boost our int, but kind of just want to chuck fire at them and be done with it. Huh. Oh yeah, there's no way we can target that Wraith without hitting Brenna. Ugh, so low. Forgot how durable those golems are. Let's get a little insight into that, shall we? Oh, maybe not. Perhaps we'll cast Brilliance after all. Yeah, it's starting to seem like we should. Giant Golem. Now, wait a minute, is that an upgrade? Or were they always called Giant Golems and I just forgot? Are these like super golems? Oh dear, I'm scared. Oh jeez. That actually is a little threatening. let's move Godric back. Remember guys, the game ends if Godric dies. We just lose. You can't cast Crushing Death on the golems, but you can cast it on the Wraith? Maybe Crushing Death can only be cast on things that have hearts. I know that's weird because not every fantasy gives golems hearts, but... Or, wait a minute, what am I saying? That's exactly what I'm saying. Golems might not have hearts, but maybe Wraiths do? Or maybe Wraiths count as inanimate objects or something? I don't know. We're gonna cast Brilliance, but we wanted to get Godric out of trouble there. I don't really know what the correct response to this is. Suppose just throwing things and hoping for the best. We need to move the party over into one side of the field like this, and this will allow us to fireball indiscriminately. Alright, Brilliance comes out now. Pity we didn't cast it earlier. This will be followed up with by better fireballs and a sense aura that hopefully works this time. You can get some insight into the stats of these behemoths. That's much better. So I guess Godric will just be eternally passing his turn throughout the rest of this fight. We'll take a look at him after this combat and see if we can fix him up a little more. Here we go, Giant Golem Follower, not a leader. 150 HP, quite a bit. Level 20, I don't know if we found anything higher than 20. Resistant to both physical and magical, and 27 armor. Didn't we find something with 31 armor? So this isn't even the highest we've ever seen. And yeah, that is just a meaty hit these golems provide. I dare say if you found yourself stuck in between you know, like 4 of them, there's a pretty good chance you just die. I get to see through that one. Probably just end this. We don't need to heal Brenna. Normally we would, but pretty sure with the stats she has, she'll never miss. Speaking of never missing, what do we do with her? I guess we could give her stealth. That seems like a waste, though. Could also give her more merchant. Or just more HP. You know, more HP actually sounds pretty good. I think that's what we're gonna do. So next level on HP is 6,700. Next level on endurance is so high. So more stamina it is. They'll certainly put her more out of the danger zone. I don't know if there's a good... Now, this is so interesting. Oh, elemental spell, of course. What am I thinking? I was like looking at dispel elemental thinking, wait a minute, we have banishment. Why is there also a dispel elemental spell? But no, it's different. I rightly don't know what to do with Rita. I mean... She's kind of hit her peak. I guess we could give her healer. She'd be able to lay on hands with a higher skill in combat. Seems like such a waste, though. Oh, thief. Yeah, I suppose we could give her more thief. Her backstabs will be better. Okay, Alaron will go deep into control elemental because I think that's funny. So we can now banish and control elementals. And Godric will continue to work on his old man agility, finally maxing out at 30. No need to really give him much strength. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to boost his int, though. Maybe even his endurance and stamina? Stamina might be the right call, just to keep him alive a little longer. He's gone from being level 2 to level 11, so he's gained 9 HP out of his levels alone. And I suppose eventually we would want him to actually use Dragon Flames. Problem is, it's going to require a lot of work. Wizard needs leveled up, Intelligence needs leveled up. Yeah, I think we just increase his HP. See, the problem is he's just a liability at this point. And I don't say that in a mean-spirited way, it's just accurate. He is the weakest link on the party. So, in order to remove his liability of being the weakest link, boosting his HP to what is the standard HP for other party members makes a lot of sense. There's this cloth draped over this entranceway here. Is this where we came in from? Yeah, okay, so this is the hidden path that we entered this place from. And it seemed like we were able to walk through a certain part of the wall here. Oh no, just a path. Another sigil on the ground. Let's check out what's up with these ladders. We can't actually interact with any of these tombs. Oh, a white? Wait, where the heck are we? Wait. Are we even in Ugarit anymore? The music changed. Where's our... Oh, we're in Ugarit. What the... What gives, man? I don't know. Let's go fight that white. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just leave him alone. Just kidding. Oh, just a single white. A little bit of an entourage of local ne'er-do-wells. Joke's on him. Alright, that's fine. And what's going on? Immediately gets frozen in time. But yeah, joke's on this white, right? Bringing zombies into this fight is only a liability. Oh, what's up? Sorry about that. What is a massive skeleton? I know we fought other giant skeletons, but in this light, you really get to see just how big they are. Now that's 2 successful casts on Control Zombie. This fight very quickly went from a 4-on-4 to a 6-on-1. Well, I suppose Godric's not in the fight anymore, so I guess it's 5-on-1. Alright, Rita, show us the skills of your thievery that you have invested in. Hey, we are seeing it. These zombies are never going to actually hit him, are they? No, that zombie took the prime position of being right behind the white. Where will Brenna stand? Oh, looks like there's enough space. Oh, kind of enough space over here too, maybe? Good enough. It's the point blank chuck of a throwing star at someone's face. Very threatening looking animation, resulting in a miss. Yeah, okay, Control Zombie is fun. It really just removes them straight up from the fight. I mean, zombies are just annoying to fight in general. Again, they're not threatening. But Control Zombie just kind of speeds the process along. Especially because I'm assuming that they're immune to Wall of Bones. Spice is nice. Well, okay, I suppose we sure did find this weird outcropping. I mean, do we go back in? I assume we can. There were all these holes, yeah, all the holes lead up to the... We'll just have to log this place away in our head, I bet. Yeah, I think I kind of want to leave the way we came in, though. Maybe not. Nah, it's not worth it. We said we were going to strike out and get lost. So let's do that. What? Wait, first off, why did the white come back? Second off, I don't know if I'm necessarily complaining so much as commenting, but why did it suddenly turn into a skeleton when we got into the fight? Again, happy we don't actually have to fight a white again. But confusing. So we're gonna head in a westward fashion, because that's the direction I happen to hold the stick in. I don't think we can keep going west, can we? I don't want to fight that hellhound. Yeah, there's symbols on the outside as well. Wait, what? Fascinating, Captain. What did that do? I'm a little scared. Let's save the game. Not that we've really found anything that killed us in a very, very long time. But you never know. Can we do... No? Can't do anything with this one. What gives? Maybe we needed to go down and... This is just like Aidyn Chronicles, where interacting with one object does something, and interacting with a nearly identical object does something completely different, or does nothing in our case, with no indication of what's going on or why it's happening. I suppose we could just go back into the dungeon, perhaps by raising that glyphed spire. This is vaguely starting to seem familiar to me. I think we need to do this, but I think we're doing it far too early. Oh. Wait, what? Yeah, alright.
Who disturbs the resting place of Perus? Who discovered the surface key which opens my grave?
It is I, Alaron, tamer of the Jundar King. Yeah, we are definitely here too early. Tamer of the Jundar King, solver of riddles. Who does he think he is? Bilbo Baggins? My goodness. Yeah, we haven't even met the king, Alaron.
Then riddle me this, O great and mighty Alaron. What item of power is yours in the alcove if you best me?
There are no legends about any items.
Indeed, it is there. Helm of the Spirit Drake, a gift from the dragons. See if you can deliver me at last, and it is yours.
So apparently the Lich, or White, or whatever this thing is, oh, quite a ghostly fellow. What was that about riddles and knowing the item? So we're getting the Helm of the Dragons here? Fighting the illustrious Beirut, somebody who I don't really know anything about. Oh, he's just as susceptible to Brendan's backstabs as any other monster, if not more so with that incredibly low HP pool. Oh, you know, I realized maybe we should have cast Sense Aura, but that is a little hilarious. That was not a particularly threatening enemy, was it? And he was correct. We now have the Spirit Drake Helm. Whoa! 50 magic resist. +5 willpower, +1 protection. Who do we even give that to? Who needs to resist magic? Well, the answer almost immediately entered my head the moment I said it. Godric does. I forgot that this gave him +2 warrior. Yeah, we'll give the Fire Drake, what was it called? Helm of the Spirit Drake. Spirit Drake Helm. Yeah, we'll give that to Godric. We should at least keep him safe from the random fire or lightning spells, drifting earth smites, things like that. So I really don't think we should be here doing this right now. Let's come back here. Just based on the dialogue that Beirut told us, I believe that we're supposed to go to Ugarit first, get this quest, and then go gallivanting into the tombs to obtain these items for a reason I can't even remember. It's probably just going to make more sense if we go to Ugarit first. We should take a gander at the map, though, and see if we can memorize this location. That way it'll be easier to find later. So Godric, with his semi-respectable HP pool, no longer has to cower in... stuttering. Cower in so much fear as he once did. Although his assistance in combat is probably limited at best. Let's see. Yeah. With a sword skill of 1 and no warrior talent, chances of him landing a hit seem low. We will, however, not have to fight these plague zombies, which will be super nice. Plague zombies, as you have become quite accustomed to, as have I, are just a big pain in the butt to whittle down. No, that's your plague zombie friend. He'll be on our side in a moment. Attack the white instead. Although I suppose the white will be completely immune to the zombie's strengths. Come on, Godric. I wonder if it's statistically even possible for him to land a blow. There we have it. 6 on 2 in a matter of moments. Okay, I take it back. Magic is good. It's just a super end game good. Like, you have to... Like, I don't know, early on, maybe you shouldn't even invest in it. Or if you're going to invest in it, you have to focus on just, like, one spell. At this stage of the game, we have so much EXP rolling in, and so many of the core base stats already maxed, that it's not a big deal to pick up a new spell and immediately have it be useful. But early on, when your int isn't 20, your spells aren't maxed, it's pretty rough to find useful ways to use your magic. So we are just going to skip everyone's turn here and just let Alaron control the plague zombies, largely because, again, trying to kill these things is such a huge pain. And no one else knows Control Zombie. Oh. I suppose it is nighttime. Oh no. Did it change to nighttime sometime during this fight? Okay, there we go. Maybe we just got really lucky on those first 2 casts. All I can think of is that awful Brother Brother song from Pokemon. Brother, my bruh. when the identical Pokemon have to fight each other. I'm sure you knew the reference immediately. If you knew the reference, and if you don't know the reference, don't bother looking it up. Spare yourself. You know, given enough time and enough failures to cast, or not failure to cast, but resistances coming out of this zombie, I was gonna say, the other plague zombies might finally get there and just beat them up. Oh well. The question is now, do we give Godric 30 endurance? Do we even need to? It's kind of expensive. Well, a little bit expensive. Not super. I don't know. Let's have him pool his EXP, because certainly there's like a wizard in Ugarit who can teach him his wizard skill at a discounted experience cost. But yeah, where on the map are we? Kind of just right in the middle there. Right below those two little lines. Yeah. Right above the U in Ugarit. That'll be easy to remember. I suppose now that we've located the... Yeah, the music changed again. Now that we've located the quest that we need to... Or rather, the quest location that we need to go to. I suppose we'll just go in a much more intentional direction to Ugarit. As the sandworms block our path. Frustratingly. It's nighttime, so our casts will be weak. Oh. Would also help if we had the stamina to cast. Perhaps with two of them, we should just go up and beat them up. Yikes. A little scary.
Why are these things so defensive?
And we'll try to answer the question, will Godric hit something with that sword? Answer? Probably not. Nope. So while it is nice to see new creatures being used in the desert, certainly been a lot more elementals lately. In certain ways, they feel just a little bit like old monsters with new faces. I suppose these sandworms have some kind of poison effect. Oh, Godric did something. I'm amazed. But yeah, I suppose the sandworms have their poison effect, but it's just not impactful enough to matter. Take a snooze. Get out of this darkness. Perfect. Just seem to be in kind of a little ravine. Is it called a ravine in a desert? Oh, did we go in a circle? Wait a minute, what? No, this is just the entrance to the cave we've found. Okay. Well, I guess we're back to where we started. Yeah, that oasis. Dust devils. At least we know dust devils are extremely weak to fire. Ball. Fireball.
Oh, giant scorpion.
I mean, I kind of want your EXP, but I also kind of want to tell you to go away. Again, wants to let Alaron handle this. I feel bad, but he just lately has been having spells single-handedly that allow him to more efficiently and effectively end the fight than the other characters, although that's a little annoying, and I kind of do wish I had Brenna in lightning range now. Maybe if they all walk forward, they will be. It would seem so. That's just so low. We had it doing like 70 earlier. I don't know what was going on. But yeah, with the number of fights in this desert, which is a beautifully sculpted desert, it is very interesting to look at. There's a lot of twists and turns and weird nooks and crannies and these crazy platforms to climb up. It's still essentially just a canvas to push you into random battle after random battle. Oh my goodness, speaking of. Which kind of, I don't know, diminishes the effect of the environment. I think it's because we don't need anything. It's an interesting concept, right? When you make your players need something, they can feel motivated to acquire it. Like, even if the thing that they're getting is stupid and pointless, if they need it, you can create an addictive, repetitive cycle in your player, right? Like, this is why if you create a zombie defense game and you tell your player, oh no, unless you craft enough bullets, your guys won't be able to shoot all the zombies, and the way to craft bullets is just by clicking a button over and over again, you know, that can catch some people. That can be addicting. Or at least engaging to a degree. I think at some point, if you've played enough video games, you've reached a game where you've done that a little bit with, at some level. But we don't need anything right now in Aidyn Chronicles. We're more than capable of killing everything. We have all the skills, except for Godric, for our characters that they can learn. We're having fun leveling up things like banishment and controlling zombie, but we don't actually need them. And so there's no conflict. There's no, oh my goodness. There's no danger pressing our party, pressing the player into desiring conflict like this. For instance, if there was a really strong monster that we needed to fight, or maybe it was optional and we wanted to fight it, then it would be more enticing to do all of these random fights. But because there's no optional boss, because there's no grand big conflict that we're working towards right now, these fights feel more like a slog, because we're not anticipating gaining strength by moving forward in any way. We're just anticipating kind of becoming bloated as we invest in skills we don't even need anymore. I think Alaron's verse elemental is decent. No, it's garbage. It must be Rita's that's decent. Anyway, with all of the fire elementals, the hellhounds here, it might be worth it to drop verse elemental. I'm not really sure. It might just be a waste of time though. I think somehow we missed her when we cast Brilliance earlier. She must have been on the edge of the circle. I don't know if having Godric do anything is really important or not. I don't think the Hellhounds are really going to deal enough damage all at once to be particularly threatening. But it's also the matter that our main form of dealing damage to them is not an option. Which forces us to fight the battle a little bit differently. Suppose we could just give Rita some kind of non-fire-based weapon right now, but it's probably just not even important enough to. Yeah. Turns out making enemies that are immune to the game's most damaging AoE spell forces players to approach the fight a little differently. Or have to think differently. Although, our strategy essentially has just become, oh, use the other damaging AoE spell, which is starting to make a case for lightning. I know it's a little bit niche, but lightning does serve the purpose of being usable against monsters that are otherwise immune to the other two standard AoE spells, Dragon Flames and Fireball. You could Earth Smite them to death, sure. But at that point, you might as well just go up and stab them. And it would appear victory is ours, except for that one, who didn't want to flee. Forcing our hand. You think lightning is noisy? Do you think every time a lightning bolt strikes, there's a clap of thunder? Wait, what am I talking about? That doesn't create thunder. Oh my goodness. What am I, like 7? The lightning doesn't create the noise, does it? Does it? Gosh darn it. Okay. In order to prevent myself from looking like a complete idiot, I'm definitely not going to Google this. Okay, yes and no. Apparently, lightning is caused, or thunder is caused, by the rapid expansion of air surrounding the lightning bolt, not the lightning bolt itself. So, the more you know. I probably learned that in grade school. But that's why they invented the internet, right? So that you could forget everything and just look it up later. I don't know why we're walking up this thing. I hope it's a new path. It does look new. There's new treasure up here. Chundar leather. Sort of tells the tale of a unfortunate soul who was dragged up here by a griffin. Alright, Griffin, we'll fight you so we can get your treasure. It's probably useless, but we are adventurers. We have to go get treasure. We're contractually obligated. We cannot see treasure and then choose not to get it. That would be silly. Nice. Would have been nicer if it had done that to all of them, but whatever. We'll just go up and bop them on the beak. Boop. Okay, you ruffians. Are you ready to get stabbed by a two-pronged sword? That's how you know it's a good sword. It's got 2 blades on it. Maybe this one will flee. Is that what I say in every fight? I don't actually monitor myself. I feel like that's the constant thing going on in Chezni's head. Flee, flee, please flee. Spare us the spending of the time we have on this mortal coil as we stab yet another griffin to death. Yeah, I suppose we'll just bank EXP for everyone. What? What? Game is now trolling me. And you. I am sorry. It's trolling us. Oh, nope. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought 93 was too low, but apparently it is A-okay. Yeah, I miss our little fireball buddy, Neeson. It certainly made a difference having him on the team. He was a good, solid character. Definitely arch-magey spellcasting type. Okay, what is happening? I don't... Clearly something is wrong here. There's only so many times we can fight the same 3 everlasting griffins and be amused by it. There's even an argument for maybe not teaching Alaron all the spells, so that you don't have to constantly cycle through them. Like, the verse spells were marginally useful early on in the game, but I don't know if they've ever been meaningful after that. Okay, can we stop the infinite griffin train now? Yeah. Maybe there really were just 3 griffins up here. I know. I saw the treasure. I just want to see the skyline. The skyline is the true reward. Hey, wait, what's that? What direction is that? Southeast? That might be Ugarit. It just hasn't loaded in. Is that a Pokeball? No. Who knows what's in that treasure pile? A wand of fireball? Okay. Who's that going to? I think we give that to Rita. So I heard this information that wands are busted. And even though it says they have X number of charges, you can use them near infinitely. I think the way it works is you just have to equip them and then unequip them. And then the charges come back. Or something. Never actually done that myself. How many charges does this have? 10? Alright. So we'll keep in the back of our head around, 5-ish casts from Rita that we need to check the charges on the wand. And then equip them or unequip them. As I'm sure you're well aware, typically the way charges work is they are a finite resource granted or imbued to a wand, allowing it to perform a spell X number of times, X being equal to the number of charges. And then upon use of all charges, the wand is consumed and no longer usable. Typically, charges do not come back to magic wands. Now, they will come back oftentimes to gear that has a once per day ability or something like that. But it's uncharacteristic for it to come back to a wand. Anyway, it does look like we'll be able to travel to those ruins that we saw off in the distance. I'm starting to think maybe it isn't Ugrit. There's nothing loading in. Yeah, we'll just sidestep you, Mr. Alaron. Yeah, it appears to be ruins of some kind. Now, this was mentioned way earlier, and I can't believe I didn't really even have a conversation about it, but we had that conversation about... I'm going to assume that fire is just the Hellhound. Yeah, probably. We had that cinematic earlier where Rita... Yeah, okay. Rita and Brenna both concluded that, you know, the desert itself was something that they could use as leverage with King Zertas. Or Zeratas. Apparently that is just some ruins. But as we know from the history of Aidyn, of course Jundar used to be this luscious forest, and quite frankly it's just not up to the luscious forest state that you would expect from something described as a luscious forest. Alaron reasoned that the king, Zertas, surely wouldn't want his kingdom to look like this, or rather to be in this state. And he said he felt as if the health of the desert must just be slipping away from Zeratas. So what was once a mighty and powerful kingdom capable of enslaving humanity has now dwindled. Also, this desert is huge. Like, how long have we been walking around and seeing new things? Looks like we have the bones of a dragon up here. I don't remember why this is the bones of a dragon, but I'm pretty sure these are the bones of a dragon. Certainly the bones of something. Or a giant fish. If this was once a lake. Look at that rib cage. Ugh. Yeah. The treasure left behind from some unfortunate eaten soul. A sleep gas flask. Okay. And some bones. And a letter. Your Majesty, King Lear. Wait a minute. I feel like we know that name. King Lear. King Lear was almost certainly mentioned in one of the dozens of books and scripts we read, but I can't for the life of me remember why that was important. Was King Lear the one that rose up against the Jundar? The Jundar found me before I could poison their well. I barely escaped with my life. Now I flee to Maxon. Wait a minute, Maxon. Maxon. Who's Maxon? You remember when I got Mago confused with Maxwell? I think this is why. Who's Maxon? Anyway. Now I flee to Maxon, but dragons fill the sky above me. I pray I have not destroyed our hopes in the war. I still have the poison. Perhaps when things have settled down, I can try again. Sound of leathern? Is that a real word? Perhaps. Leathern wings rises above me. The mouth of the canyon is but a short way north. If I can only make it, I will send this letter when I am able. Forgive me, your humble servant, Jorath. Alright, well I think what clearly happened here is this Jorath fellow, back in the days of the fight against the Jundar, Wow, look at that. Back in the days against the fight of Jundar, had a strong and powerful poison. Was going to use it to poison the Jundar. Was not able to. Ran away. Got eaten by a dragon. The dragon died from the poison. Normally I wouldn't pick fights with things, but this is a Chaos Lieutenant. Kind of... Wait. Sorry, just another one of those NPCs that doesn't want to fight you. Anyway, definitely... Oh, I expected this was a fight. So it is you. You chose the wrong path, Squire. I guess I'll turn back. Are you so deadly? Where's the Jester? Why would we ask him about the Jester? I kind of love this top response. Guess I'll turn back. But I think we're going to ask him about the Jester. It doesn't really make sense to, but I kind of want to know about Ferris. Is he a friend of yours? Let's say a rival. The Jester is too smart to pass this way. He is a wizard who values his life. Are you so deadly? Most people think so. What if I don't? Then you may tell them differently if we don't kill you first. Huh. A Jundar that was interested in having a conversation. Or not a Jundar. Chaos Minion. Chaos Minion Chezni. So they're getting a nice helping of Verse Elemental. So Fireball, Lightning off the table for the time being. But that shouldn't stop Crushing Death. Even if it doesn't do much damage, I just love seeing that spell. Anyway, we'll focus on the Lieutenant. Once he falls, there's probably not a lot to be afraid of. Yeah, quite a bit of HP. Oh. Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought that was Dragon Flames. Got a little worried. Although with Godric's increased resistance from his helmet, you would expect... Well, maybe you wouldn't expect him to be able to resist that. His willpower was kind of low. Could just go for the backstab on the warrior. I'm anticipating once new reinforcements enter the fight, the Lieutenant will be distracted by trying to cast First Elemental on them. Or he could just say, screw that, and Wall of Bones read them. Fair enough. We definitely want to get rid of him if he's going to cast Wall of Bones then. Oh, good grief. What? 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 Does Alaron and Godric not count? Well, that's frustrating. I would chalk this up to a death due to the game bugging out. Well, shoot. It's been quite a while since we've saved. I guess that's where we're going to end it today. I'll get back up to where we were, and then we'll pick up from there, but geez, that's disappointing. Well, thanks for watching. Suppose it's not completely uncharacteristic to end at least one of the episodes on a game-breaking crash. Or, well, not even a crash, but bug. At any rate, thank you for watching. Hope you had some fun. If you're interested to see more of what we do, you can head on down to pleaseinsertcd.com and drop either Lepsis or I a line, or just read some goofy reviews we wrote up. Thanks for watching, hope to see you again, and see you in the next one.